So I guess it's time for another book report video. I still get Vietnam flashbacks when I think about the book report video I made in 10th grade.
Excuse me? Isn't that book for like 3rd graders or something?
No! Let's just focus on the book report video I'm doing this year. Everyone in my English class had to read Among the Hidden, and since our teacher is quite poggers, she let all of us do our book report on this book instead of reading a different book on our own time. Anyways, I'm gonna tell you about the book now. This story starts in a small house in the woods. The main character of this story is a 12-year-old boy named Luke. Luke's parents are criminals because he exists. This is because of a population law that Luke's parents were supposed to obey. Since Luke's parents already had 2 kids, they weren't supposed to have any more kids. The consequences for having a 3rd child are either execution or a $5 million ticket. And even if you don't get caught, you still have to live the rest of your life in a lie. Luke used to be able to vibe inside of his backyard because there was a forest surrounding his family's house. But then, Luke's vibing days came to an end. His dad had to sell the forest to the government because Luke's family didn't have enough money to survive. The government cut down the forest in order to build homes for government officials to live inside of. Luke sat inside of his house for countless days. He would look out the window sometimes, but then his parents banned him from windows because someone could probably see him through the windows at some point. Luke was forced to live inside of the attic, so then nobody could see him. He still found a way to look outside through the attic fence though. One day while Luke was looking outside of the attic air vent, he saw something or someone inside of his neighbor's house through a window. He built up the courage to go check over there while nobody was looking.
That's my cat.
And when Luke got inside of their house, a little girl knocked him over onto the floor because she thought he was a robber or something, I don't know. This little girl's name was Jen, and the only thing she did was sit on the computer all day, pretty much. Luke wasn't allowed to touch any sort of computer because his parents had taught him that the government can track you through technology. Jen was taught that the government can't track computers. Jen was also in a group chat full of
children that the population police didn't know about.
She wanted to gather everyone together so then they could do a protest against the government and their population law. Jen wanted Luke to come along for the protest, but he really didn't want to go. Luke ended up staying behind, and the next day he was listening to the radio for any sort of information about a protest against the population law. Luke started to get worried, so then he ran over to Jen's house to search for her. After he couldn't find her, he got onto the computer to check the group chat. Luke said something on the group chat, and nobody was responding to what he was saying. Luke didn't know at the time, but he had made the alarms go off, and then Jen's dad came inside the house with a gun that he pointed towards Luke. Luke asked Jen's father what happened to Jen. Then Jen's dad told him that she died in the protest. Apparently only 40 out of the 800 children showed up for it, and all 40 children that did show up got shot and killed. Luke couldn't believe it. He thought that Jen's dad was lying to him. It was hard to tell, but Jen's parents were devastated as well. Jen's dad had to keep calm, or else other government officials would be like, that guy over there kinda sus though. That was cringe, I'm sorry. Luke ended up stealing Jen's dad's gun. Jen's dad said that Luke could shoot him, or get some help from him instead. Luke ended up setting down the gun and got some help from Jen's dad instead. Right after the protest, the government ended up finding the group chat somehow, and they saw Luke's message asking if anyone was there. The population police went over there looking for Luke, but they couldn't find him. He hid in the closet while
Jen's dad was explaining why a message was sent from his house.
Jen's dad's excuse was that he sent a message to the computer to see if any population police would fall for it. It seemed to work pretty well, until the population police still wanted to look around. So then Jen's dad just figured this out by telling them that he was going to press charges against them if they didn't get out of his house. Jen's dad asked Luke if he wanted a fake ID. Luke hesitated at first because he could tell that Jen's dad was a really good liar. After Luke thought for a few minutes, he remembered how bored he was before he met Jen. There was no excitement in his life, and he just sat in an attic all day doing nothing. Luke also remembered that his parents couldn't afford one, so he just got the fake ID. Luke's new name was the name of some kid who died in a snowboarding accident. And at the end of the story, Luke leaves to go live with a different family. So I would probably give this book a 10 out of 10 because it plays with your emotions and you don't know what's going to happen at the end. And now that I'm done recording these lines, it's time to go spend an ungodly amount of time editing.